Hey guys, welcome to VTech Vlog, a place for your fast suggestions regarding gadgets and vehicles based on my personal experience. So for a while I was not making some videos as I was busy in my life, office and all. So I was getting some messages from my subscribers as well that they are waiting for my videos, and as I'm not uploading the videos, what about the channel growth and all. So I just made up my mind that I will spare some time for the YouTube now, and I will try to be more frequent on the YouTube. So I have uploaded some videos of a Marcus Butte, but those were not my personal videos. So I just I took a topic that's motorcycle riding aids. So this is a classroom video now. So I have listed all of the motorcycle aids. Those are available in the market. Beside this, there would be some which I have just missed out. So those would be more of a market gimmick rather than the practical things. So all the practical things are already here. So by default, they comes under the safety and security head, as these all riding aids help the rider to be more confident, to be more frugal on the road. Most of these are daily to daily riding aids, but this is the only thing which is track specific. So the launch control is track specific. You would not be launching your bike on the general roads. By default, all of these riding aids just comes in the superbike sector. So your normal bike like 300cc or 250cc won't be having these. The cornering ABS and ABS. Moreover, not the cornering ABS or ABS modes, the standard ABS, dual channel, single channel ABS, that is now compulsory in the Indian market. So that is all over the place. Over 150cc, 150, 200, 250, all of the bikes have ABS, but all of these are not available in those. Currently the Duke 390 came that had traction control, that have shifter control, not shifter control specifically, that have upshifter and downshifter, but it has ABS modes, that is Supermoto and the standard ABS, the road ABS. So today we will be discussing over these topics. These are some examples. So basically these are the names of these controls by from the different manufacturers, what they call their technology basically. So they all have differentiated their technology by putting some different names sort of thing. Like motorcycle traction control is standard unit. So basically motorcycle traction control is basic unit. Then Ducati came in, they introduced Ducati traction control, then Aprilia traction control, then Kawasaki traction control, same as Suzuki traction control and all. So basically we are discussing the motorcycle traction control. These are only brand specific things. These doesn't have any specialty. All of these have same, just a little bit of tweakness and little bit of personalization, and they made DTC and ATC and KTC. So this all a market gimmick. So at first we have traction control, then cornering ABS and ABS mode, riding mode, wheelie control, slide control, shifter control and launch control. The shifter control is basically quick shifter control. So starting from the very first, we have the traction control. So I will not be explaining these in depth, I will just go on through thoroughly. So traction control, so basically these all are connected to speed sensors. Those are at the front and at the rear. There are two speed sensors in the motorcycle, as we have only two wheels. So basically they reads the speed. There's a module in the bike, that ECM, electronic control module. One is for the engine and second one is for the body, that is BCM basically, not ECM, but it's electronic, so we call it a ECM. Traction control, how it works, what is it? Traction control is a unit which helps the rider to regain the grip. This is a basic definition. So what is basically does, it reads the speed variation between the front wheel and the rear wheel, and if there is a variation more or below than the preset limit, it just cuts the power at the rear. Why it just cut the power at the rear? Because in the bikes we have only rear wheels, the front wheel is not powered, so we can only cut the rear wheel. That's why the front is very crucial, because electronics can hold the rear but they cannot hold the front. If you are getting low side from the front, you cannot just control them by the electronics. Still the physics is there, rider can control that. But for the riding aids, where the bike, where the manufacturer, where the company, where your money can save you, that is these points. And these all are not all. The ABS is connected to the front, the riding modes and all, but the traction control specifically is just controlling your rear. So basically when your rear washes out, it just cuts off the power until and unless the rider regains, or the rear tire regains the grip. and once it regains the grip, it start throwing the same power as the rider wants. And again, if the tire lacks some traction, it just activates the traction control. Then we have some name referring to the traction control, that is motorcycle traction control, Ducati traction control, Aprilia and Kawasaki traction control. Motorcycle traction control is a general term which is used by lots of manufacturers. Then we have some brand specific like Ducati, Aprilia and Kawasaki. They use their separate name, but the ideology and technology behind them are almost same. So this was all about the traction control. Then we have the cornering, ABS and ABS mode. So before going to this topic, you should be known to the topic, that is ABS. I have a separate video for that. If you want to watch that, click on the link above. I will not just tell anything about ABS in this video. You need to watch that separate video for that. So in this, I will be focusing on these topics only. So basically, cornering ABS, this is not under the ABS modes. Cornering ABS is a different thing. So basically, normal ABS works on the single axis. The normal ABS, which is by default in the bikes, and now in India, all of the bike over 150cc have to have the ABS in that. That is compulsory by the government as it has safety regulation. So the cornering ABS works on different axes. So where the traditional ABS works on single axis. So when you are straight, it's working. It do work when the bike is lean over, and the angle for that is nothing. Unless your tire have grip, the cornering ABS would work. So basically, if you are entering the corner, not only for the track, for road also, if you are entering the corner and in between you have some gravel and in between you have some liquid or any sort of thing which is messing up with your traction, it will activate the cornering ABS and will help the rider to gain some confidence and to gain some traction. But all of these are the riding aids. They doesn't guarantee 100%. They are riding aids. They help the rider. They cannot assure the rider. But now we are living in 2020, the technology is so high, they do assure up to 90%, at least up to 90%. If you are having traction control, your bike would slide unless you are in control, the traction control will work. But when you are just crossing the limits of the bike, it will slide off. This was all about the cornering ABS. Then we have ABS modes. So ABS modes are Supermoto, road and track. I have also listed off in the mode, but that off and on is not a mode. So basically the road ABS is by default on ABS mode. So on the front and on the rear, the ABS is working. That is the road mode. So I will not just consider this as well. So basically we have 2 or 3 modes in that only. That is Supermoto, rain and track. Rain is not also listed. We have Supermoto and track, but some of the manufacturer do comes with the rain ABS. So basically it makes the ABS more effective towards braking. In the Supermoto mode, the rear ABS is not there. The ABS sensor disengages the rear. Now you have a free rear brakes, but you have more effective front. You have more progression on the front brakes. This is the Supermoto. Then we have track mode. In the track mode, we have both the ABS working, but the progression is very high. Because we have lots of traction on the track, there is no dust, the track is always cleaned, the place is to ride fast and hard, so the traction is high there. So we don't need that much efficient braking, but we do need effective braking to make our lap time more cleaner and more faster. So that is the track mode. I have just simplified all of these points separately, especially for the ABS. I don't have other videos, but for the ABS I have a separate video. There's a link, click on that, see that video. Then we have riding modes. The riding modes, basically these sort of modes are not available in the normal bikes. These all are superbike things. In the riding modes, as we have 30 bhp or 40 bhp, 50 bhp, we don't need riding modes. We don't have lots of power which we used to need under the limit or so. We can just control that by hand. But once we are crossing the 100 bhp limit, like we have 120 bhp, 150 bhp or 200 bhp, the slight throttle response translates to 60-50 bhp bounce. So that means if it's raining, if it's mud, if the traction is low, we need traction control, we need riding modes. So the riding modes normally comes in CAB, 3 riding modes or 2 riding modes, or the track mode, race mode, or rain mode, or street mode. So basically it makes the throttle response more effective and efficient according to the condition we are riding in. So here are some modes like A, B, C, as I mentioned. Normally the A works most effectively, B works normal, and the C work more efficient. So basically this is the slow mode, this is the normal mode for your street, this is for the rain, and the A work is for the track or for the freeways, where when you're riding, when you have grip, when you have atmosphere in control. So this is the most effective. Simplified here: rain, race, road. These are all just simplified. Some manufacturer uses this, some manufacturer uses the full forms: rain, race, road, track. So basically in the rain mode, the throttle response is more efficient. It is more linear. In the race mode, it's more peppy, it's more effective, it just bounces up. In the road mode, it's balanced. It's balanced between rain and race. It's if your bike having 200 bhps, on the road mode, it will deliver you 160, that too in the linear manner. So this was all about the riding modes. Then we have the wheelie control. So there is a myth in the market that the wheelie control modes comes like the 45 degree, 15 degree, and 16 degree. They will allow you to make some professional wheelies. This is only a myth. Some manufacturers do clarify that there is anti-wheelie, but some of them they just have the wheelie control in the bike. So they just name the wheelie control, but it do mean that the bike is equipped with the anti-wheelie. So basically in the wheelie control you have two modes. Either you can switch it off or you can switch it on. And if you are switching it on, it's by default working on the anti-wheelie mode. So what does anti-wheelie mean? So basically when the bike detects that your front is popping up, it activates the anti-wheelie mode. So basically the wheelie control takes place there. It just cuts off the power on the rear until and unless your front wheel come back to the tarmac. So it will make your bike in control. So this is basically used by the track riders only. So when you accelerate the corner, they use the full throttle and the tire tends to pop up because the bikes are too powered. They are 125 bhp, 150 and 200, and even more than 200, 225, 230 bhp. They have lots of more modes. So they do need wheelie control. So this is the only meaning of wheelie control. It's not like 45 degree, 60 degree or something. Lots of youth is having this myth in their mind that so let's buy a bike with a wheelie control, then we will be able to do some wheelies. So guys, you need to learn the wheelies personally. You need to learn the wheelies professionally. Then we have the slide control. So just see this video first. See this? The slide. This is the slide control. The bike electronics allows you to slide until and unless there's grip. So basically there's a preset. The tire is working that much dynamically. The system is working for you. You are rolling up the throttle according to you, according to the grip, according to the angle, but the machine is also working for you. So it allows you to do slide until and unless a separate angle. Once that separate angle is hit, it just cut off the power on the rear and you again come back on the same axis and the front is going on to just compensate the same speed and all. So this is slide control. The slide control is very simple. It's not needed on the road. Obviously it's not needed on road. You don't go so fast on road. You're not heading the corners that much speed that you have some slides on the corners. You can switch the slide control off if you are drifting on the bike. So if you are drifting, you need to switch it off, as if the slide control is on, it will make you slide up to a certain limit. It will not make you drift. At 6 we have shifter control. This shifter control is quick shifter control. So basically quick shifter control doesn't have some modes. Basically it has some modes, but they are not modes, they are the progression of use. So basically the quick shifter 1, the quick shifter 2, or you can just deactivate the quick shifter, you can just deactivate the auto gripper. Normally in the quick shifter 1, the quick shifter works more progressively. So basically the manual adjustments are there if you're resting your foot on the gear lever, and if the quick shifter engages, there is physical error, there is not electric error. The quick shifter modes are on the quick shifter 1, you have more effective manner of quick shifting, and on the level 2, you have more efficient manner of quick shifting. So basically the difference is in the nanosecond or the milliseconds. So this is the quick shifter control. It basically controls the time you need to take between the shifting. So if you are on track, you need quick shifter 1. If you are on road, you need quick shifter 2. On the track, you just pap. You need quick shifter 1. More effective, more frugal, more performance oriented. And on the last, we have launch control. But basically, if you are in the race, this is the first point. So your race depends on how you launch. So launch control. One of my friend Deepak Kashyap, he has a channel on YouTube. See his channel also. That's Deepak Kashyap DIY. Once we were in a shop discussing about the riding aids and all around 2 years back. And just in between, I got a question that Deepak, what is launch control? And he was not able to describe this in his words. Basically, he knew what is launch control, but he was not able to define this. What is launch control? How does it work and all? So he just answered me in a gesture. He was doing. This was his only answer, and I do admit many of us just cannot explain it, and not just can't know what does it mean and how does it work. So launch control means controlling your launch, controlling the initial part of your race. It's not a road thing. I won't suggest to use it on the road. If you have freeways, you can test that, you can experience that, but probably it's not a daily thing. It's a track specific tool. Even not track specific, it's a race specific tool. We just use the launch control in the initial step of race, in the initial sector, and after some seconds or attaining a specific limit, it just cuts off, or after launching it, it just cuts off. So what does it mean? How does it work? What is it? Launch control is just controlling your launch. So there is by default a mode, launch control activate or launch control deactivate. So basically it's controlling your launch. It's making your bike more linear, more effective on just launching. So basically, if you are doing it manually, if you don't have launch control, there is lots of mess going in your mind. But when you have the launch control, the bike promises that owner, you just focus on the corner that you are going to attack. The launch is on me, I will take care of that. This is the only thing. This is a mental stress remover. We can just call it a mental stress remover. We can do physically. We can launch control a bike physically, but there's a lots of stress reading out the traction and or taking care about the traction, making the bike loaded and all. What launch control does, it just removes the stress. It does all about it. It makes the bike go launch safely. It makes the power more linear. It makes the rider to focus on the corner rather than focusing about the rear, the grip, the burnout and all, and the bike will flip up or else what. The launch control makes him free to just launch. So these are all the topics. Guys, this is the easiest way of describing these topics. I hope you can understand these. But if there is some problem in understanding this, or if you want to go more further in detail, just drop a comment in the section. I will make a separate video containing all the technology and all the techniques, how does they work, and even the specific reading in more technical manner. So if you want a detailed video on any of these, even on 2 or 3 topics, just comment in the section below. I will make a separate video for that. The topics are so easy, you can just read out the threads. Everything is available on market, but this is I have just made a video containing all the topics, describing them all the way out. So this was all about the video. If you like the video, press like, share it to your friends, share it to the biking groups, make it more clear, because there are lots and lots of myths regarding this. From the very beginning, let's say from the school, we just start reading magazine talking about the petrol heads, the motor heads. We just start reading on magazine. We saw the wheelie control, riding control, and we just get prepped up. Yeah, wheelie control वाली बाइक लेनी है, उससे 45 डिग्री पे व्हीली मारेंगे. लॉन्च कंट्रोल वाली बाइक लेनी है, लेजर लॉन्च करेंगे. और राइडिंग मोड वाली बाइक लेनी है, वो ए मोड पे बहुत तेज चलती है, रेस मोड पे बहुत तेज चलती है. Those are all myths. These are all the safety aids. These are the accessories. These are to facilitate the rider. These are to make the rider safe, to make the rider more promising, to make the rider more dynamic. So guys, this was all about today's topic. I hope you guys have understand what all I have described. Again, if you want any of the detailed video, just comment in the section. I'm just winding up the video now. Bye.